Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity with a video about how to pronounce the largest cities in the three large German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Liquidity. If you like this video, please give it a like and check out my other videos. And if you enjoy those, please subscribe to my channel. Before I pronounce the cities of these three countries, I will pronounce the names of the countries in German. As you probably already know, Germany in German is called Deutschland. Austria literally means the land to the south, just like Australia is the land to the south, right? That's why they're often confused. The German name for Austria is actually Österreich, which basically means the realm to the east. Switzerland in German is actually called Schweiz. And with Switzerland, you always add the article of the name. So it's Die Schweiz. Germany's capital and largest city with almost 3.7 million inhabitants is pronounced Berlin. It wasn't always the capital, and under the Prussians, Germany reunified as an empire back in 1870 after the Franco-Prussian War. It was the capital for a while until World War II ended, and then after that, East Germany had East Berlin as its capital, West Germany had Bonn as its capital, and then after reunification, after the Cold War, about 30 years ago, Germans decided to reestablish Berlin as its capital. The second largest city in Germany with almost 1.9 million people is Hamburg. It's also its most important port city. The third largest city in Germany with almost 1.5 million inhabitants is pronounced München. There's actually an English spelling to that city's name, Munich, but in German we pronounce it München. The original name of Munich, München, was actually zu den Mönchen, by the monks, because it was originally a monastery, and even back then they were already busy brewing beer. Liquid bread. Munich is, I would argue, the beer capital of Germany. It's also the capital of the state of Bavaria, and it's also where I was born. With a population of almost 1.1 million people, this city, pronounced Köln, is the fourth largest city in Germany. Köln is one of the oldest cities in Germany. It was founded by the Romans, and in fact, the name derives back to the Latin word colonia, because it was actually a Roman colony, with people from all over the Roman Empire settling down there. With almost 800,000 inhabitants, Frankfurt am Main is the fifth largest city in Germany. It's also the financial center of Germany, a very important German city. Not to be confused with the other Frankfurt, which is an der Oder, on the river Oder, which is actually right on the border with Poland. With over 600,000 inhabitants, Stuttgart is the next largest city on our list. It is the largest city in the Swabian dialect speaking area. It is also the headquarters for Mercedes-Benz. So very important city. With a population of over 600,000 people, Düsseldorf is an important trade city on the eastern bank of the Rhine River, not far from where Cologne is actually. It derives its name from the river Düssel and the word Dorf, which is German for village. So it used to be a village. Now it's a fairly large and important city. This city you may hear pronounced in different ways. Most Germans would pronounce it Leipzig. People from the more southern parts of Germany might pronounce it Leipzig with a hard G in the end. And that's just regional variation in pronunciation. This city with almost 600,000 inhabitants, is a very important trade city in the eastern part of Germany. It's a very important city in the state of Saxony with close to 600,000 people. Dortmund is the next one. Very important industrial city, also well known for beer and soccer. Another very important industrial city with almost 600,000 people is Essen, which looks just like the German word for food. I don't think there's a connection though. With a population of well over 500,000 people, Bremen is a very important German port city. And just like Berlin and Hamburg, Bremen is a city-state. It's not just a city, but it's also a state. They govern themselves. With a population of well over 500,000 people, this city, called Dresden, is a very important city in the eastern part of Germany. Dresden is historically very significant. It's also one of the largest cities in the eastern part of Germany. Dresden, very interestingly, has its origins as a Slavic village and eventually became a German city. Hanover, very important city in the north of Germany, actually the capital of Lower Saxony, Niedersachsen, with about 500,000 people. Nuremberg, very well known for its imperial castle and for its Christmas markets, is another very important city. It's the second largest city in Bavaria, and it has just over 500,000 inhabitants. Duisburg, another very important industrial city, has about 500,000 inhabitants. Don't be fooled by the way it's spelled. The U-E is pronounced like an U umlaut. It's probably a very archaic old spelling of U before there was standardized spelling. Duisburg, located on the Rhine River, is actually a port city, even though it is not located anywhere near the ocean, but it's a very, very important inland port city. Let's talk about Austrian cities. The biggest Austrian city by far is its capital, which in German is pronounced Wien. Vienna in English, so it does have an English equivalent, but in German it's pronounced Wien. So Wiener Schnitzel or Wiener sausages have their origin in the city of Vienna, Wien. And it has almost 2 million inhabitants, so a very large city. The second largest city in Austria is Graz, with almost 300,000 people. With more than 200,000 people, Linz is the next or the third largest city in Austria. Well known for Linzer tarts, right? So that's a nice thing to be known for, a dessert, a cake. One of the best known cities in Austria is Salzburg, with about 150,000 inhabitants and probably millions of tourists who go there, not only because it's a wonderful, beautiful city to visit with a large medieval castle on top of the hill, and because it's really well known for Mozart having been from there originally. It's just a wonderful place to visit. Switzerland actually has 4 official languages, and German is just the most spoken one, although the way that the Swiss speak German is almost unintelligible to most German speakers. So they learn how to read and write in standard German, and they know how to speak standard German, but when they speak their own vernacular, it might as well be its own language. So the largest German-speaking city in Switzerland is Zurich, with about 350,000 inhabitants. Zurich is one of Switzerland's banking centers. I'm not sure if it's the most important one, but it's a very important city for banking. Of course, Switzerland is really well known for banking. With about 170,000 people, the second largest German-speaking city in Switzerland is Basel, That's right on the border of France and Germany on the Rhine River. Very important industrial city, actually. With about 128,000 people, Bern is also the capital of Switzerland. If you've ever seen these gorgeous Bernese mountain dogs, that's where they come from. Or in German, we call them Berner Sennenhund.